You are listening to the Marc Guzman Podcast Experience.
Now, what's been the most difficult part for you in script writing?
Oh, well, see, here's the thing. And I saw this question. Someone said, you're going to have to learn how to do screenwriting because it's different. And I thought, it's not a skill I want to take the time to learn. Because once I learn how to do it, then I have to learn how to get good at it. Mm-hmm. And that's going to take a really long time. So I talked to my director, and he said, I would like to write the screenplay. And I said, I trust you with my life. Let's do that. So he's writing it. But what I'm learning about film, the difference in the two mediums is you can show so much more on camera in a storytelling way that you simply can't on stage.
Why is that?
Because you have a camera that moves and you have the whole wide world as your oyster. On stage, the confines of just using the stage both are restrictive and make you more imaginative, which is the beauty of theater. So if I wanted everything to basically happen in the shop, the auto shop, or have it be the thing that's constantly like looming over her that she can't get away from, not that she wants to, I'm going to film everything in the shop. On stage, you can't really do that. You can't have the hotel scene take place in the shop. So what our set designer did, and if we'd had more money, we would have had a truck on stage. What our set designer did was had the immediate set be the shop. So you had this big desk, you had these big industrial shelves with things on it. And then we moved them so the furniture that made up the shop became the library stacks. So everything came out of the shop to create something else. So in that way, the shop was always there, and I thought it was really, really cool. So it's different.
Okay. So writing the script, so you let your director write the screenplay then?
Yes. However, he came here in late May, early June so that we could talk about the screenplay. And we talked about the relationships, and he said, this we don't need to show. Okay. He said, but I would like to show more of this, so we need to create that. Okay. So it's a matter of figuring out what about the script you want to highlight in film. And like these long scenes of dialogue on stage, you can get rid of those and have like a 3-second shot of like a wordless exchange between two people that shows they're falling in love. Mm-hmm. Then you have to be okay with letting go of that dialogue.
Yeah. So have you found yourself now doing more directing?
No. I have directed. I'm not bad at it. But when it comes to my own work, I don't have distance, I don't have perspective. And there are people who are much better at it than I am who can say, hey, Miranda, did you know that you wrote this into your... Oh my God, I had no idea. And I never would have seen it because, you're right up against the glass. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to turn it over to people with whom I speak the same language, who can see the bigger picture, because I can't.
Mm-hmm. So that was your biggest challenge, is really going from play to film, or that conversion? The
biggest challenge right now, honestly, I'm going to say it's not an artistic thing. It's a logistics thing. It's such a boring answer. It's going to be the fundraising, because I have no problem with the artistic stuff changing as long as we're on the same page. And he's someone I trust implicitly with my work because I know he gets it, which is great.
But the funding is the most difficult part.
Fuck my life, yeah. It is. We're looking at a $200K budget, which is small. Even if someone said, here's $5 million, we don't want a $5 million movie. We want a little indie film. So that's the hardest part. People are getting on board. People are interested. I've had actors contact me saying, hey, I saw this article in the paper. Are you casting yet? And I'm not worried about
So you have actors and actresses that reach out to you then?
Yeah. Yeah. We have I just finished the job as production manager, and a woman who is a dramaturg said, you know, I do film production here in the East Bay. I would love to help you. So people are coming forward and saying, how can I help? I can do this. Do you need this? So that's not the hard part. And I would like to hire a female editor, because I kind of got to put my money where my mouth is. If I'm, you know, shopping the female writer, female protagonist, you know, female star, then it's all right, great, we're going to have a female editor too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the easy part.
So what are some filmmakers or individuals that you draw inspiration from for your films?
Greta Gerwig, she's a Sacramento girl. And she did this wonderful movie called Lady Bird. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
It's basically a love letter to Sacramento. And she's been working her ass off for years doing independent films. And she just made this beautiful movie. And that made me really happy. There's another one, Britt Marling, who works together with a guy. And she's been, you know, co-writing these films that she's starring in. He directs them. And they're, you know, female-driven stories. And they're fantastic, and they're edgy, and they're indie films. And she plays people that aren't necessarily likable, but you root for them. And I like that. I like it when people are not afraid to be ugly. I think it makes them more root forable, because that's how people are in real life. I think it's really cool that Patty Jenkins is directing Wonder Woman. I think that's great. It's a huge blockbuster. It's like, oh, women can direct action films? It's like, dude, they've always been able to. You just were too fucking afraid to give them the reins.
Yeah.
For fear, not that they would be bad, but they would be as good or better. But as someone said, it's not pie. There's not going to be less.
So what's going to be the overall message with this film that you want to get out to people?
Well, it's a couple of things. I think I want people to not be afraid to admit who they really are. Deep down, she's a family person. But she doesn't want to admit it for fear of being seen as weak or a slap in the face to her father's legacy. But she's someone who deeply wants a family. And, you know, how many people out there are just, you know, suppressing what it is they really want for fear of how they will be perceived, or for fear of people getting mad at them. So, you know, be honest about who you really are.
Yeah, that's a very interesting psychological thing that humans do, right?
We're our own worst enemy. And half the time, people don't fucking care. It's like when you go to the beach and you don't want to take your clothes off to be in your bikini or your board shorts or whatever because you think that everyone's going to be looking at you. One, no one cares. And two, the people that you see running around like they don't have a care in the world no matter what they look like, whenever I see them, I think they're having a lot more fun than I am. And God, they're attractive, no matter what they look like. So that's kind of it.
So where do you see yourself in the future after Greasemonkey? Drinking more beer, right?
I've thought about that. Right now, it's my Olympus, as they say. when I think of what happens after Greasemonkey, I am filled with such dread and panic that I just don't think about it. Because what do you do when a project is over? What do you do when the biggest project you've ever attempted is done? I have no idea.
Well, I have a feeling that you're going to get Greasemonkey done, completed. It'll be successful.
Oh, let's get married.
And then, and then, what's the next project?
I think I want to make a movie out of St. Francis. When we did this in New York, and again, it's about the world of dog rescue and adoption, people came up to me and said, I didn't know about the world of rescue. I didn't really know about how important it is to adopt dogs. And again, it's ding, ding, ding. So it's something I want to raise awareness about. And there are so many shelters and people who are behind this cause. And again, this is about a woman who is, her intentions are good. She is on the side of moral right, but her execution is so fucking terrible that everyone has difficulty with her. So she's a very complex character. I'd like to get the St. Francis movie made and keep doing theater with one of my creative partners. I don't know what else comes next, but I do know that one of the best things in the world would be to premiere Greasemonkey in Berkeley. That would, I think, just be.
I was just gonna say you have to bring it like to the Bay Area, Pinole, Berkeley.
That would be the first time we would show it. That to me would be. I think no matter how old you are, it's always, when you come back from the big city and you're like, look what I made while I was away. Are you proud of me? That's kind of what it is. But it's my love letter to Pinole.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Hopefully it would lead to something else.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you and
Thank you.
The film and everything that, you've got a lot of work ahead of you, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
But do you have the link already set up for people that can donate to the movie?
We do.
Okay, so send that to me.
I will.
And then we'll go ahead and link it up. But where can people find it right now?
You can go online. It's www.heyjonte.com. That's HEYJONTE.com. It's my last name, and if you want to get my attention, you say, hey, Jonte, and I'll turn around.
Perfect. So, Miranda, thank you for coming on to the podcast. Great episode. Good luck in everything. So, the event, that's this Saturday.
Sunday.
Now, or Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay, so that'll be the 19th. Is that correct?
It's Sunday the 19th. It's going to be in Berkeley at the Starry Plow on Shattuck at 12 p.m., followed by the Pinole Community Playhouse just down the street at 6 p.m. It's free. There's some cursing, heads up, and all proceeds go to Car Fire Animal Relief.
Awesome. How much?
Well, it's free.
Oh, it's free.
So
free.
if you want to give us $5, awesome. If you want to give us $50, awesome.
Okay.
But if you just want to come and hear some theater and you like animals, that's great too.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. Hope you enjoyed the beer, and good luck to all your ventures.
Thank you so much, Marc. It was a pleasure. And thanks, Sam.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you to our producer, Sam Lubin. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share the podcast. Remember, you can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Google Play, SoundCloud, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. For more information on my business as a property manager and real estate team, go visit my website at marcguzman.com. I really want to thank all of you for listening. It means the world to me, and I hope today's episode provides you value in your day-to-day life. I created this podcast to help showcase the many great people that live in this world and help share some knowledge that I've learned along the way in life. Again, thank you for listening. Check out our sponsors, and I'll catch you on the next episode.